Good evening to the camera, anybody who may be out there. Just another me broadcasting, talking to the camera. Although this evening I will be sitting sideways a lot because I'm editing and writing, working on a couple different things tonight. Finishing up a review of a Richard Sala anthology that will be posted tomorrow at the Shades of Grey blog. Most of the time, the Shades of Grey posts are scheduled anywhere from a week to actually, there's a couple of posts that will be appearing in 2023 that are already scheduled. But with this particular book, I've been wanting to review Richard Sala's books and comics and such since he passed away a couple of years ago now in May. I've always liked his stuff. I just never did much coverage of it, and I am, trying to do it now. But it started like with the Junji Ito books. I want to review those too. It's like TV watching. There's just so much stuff, and I just don't get to it because, well, there's just so much stuff. And it is interesting how the light keeps changing, and I don't touch anything. Well, anyhow, so I'm going to let the camera run. I'll be sitting with my side to it because I'll be doing some work. Actually, I'm also checking on just generally how this looks out on the YouTube page. So it's a little bit of just continuing testing, trying to master all this YouTube-y stuff. So let's see what happens. I refresh this page, whether I get to watch myself on YouTube. Doesn't look like I do. Oh wait, here we go. So if I click on that, yeah, there I am. So let's turn the volume down. So yeah, there's like a second delay, or a couple seconds delay. So I can turn my head back here, say hi. I can look up there, and I can look at myself, and then look at myself, look back at the camera. Because camera is actually on the laptop. Laptop is on the side desk, and then on the main desk is, of course, the main computers and such. So, like I said, tonight I'm working on finishing up a review of a Richard Sala book. This book, actually, let's see if I can actually manage to get enough light. Probably not, because again, I do not exactly have a professional setup here. But yeah, it's Black Cat Crossing. It's a collection of, I believe, 11 of Sala's early stories from the 90s and in the early 90s. There might even be from the late 80s. Suppose the main attraction historically would be the first appearance, that it's a story where the book contains the first appearance of Judy Drood, one of Richard's signature characters. This particular volume, a lot of the stories have sort of a film noirish tone to them. There's one that is more like the 1970s European mystery films, or sort of art films that you're not quite sure what's going on even by the time the story is over. It's actually based on a script by somebody other than Sala, that particular story. But it's, yeah, like I said, I'm hoping to have that review up on Shades of Grey tomorrow. And the other thing I'm working on tonight is finishing up the RPG, the role-playing game content for Mystic Moot and his Magic Snoot. It's going to be Nulo Games' latest release. As I said, the Target said, and another one of these things. The Target release date is this coming Tuesday. So we'll see whether I pull it off or not. Tomorrow I will continue to work on stuff, but I may also just come on here and goof around with K-cups and sort of a cheap jack crappy single cup coffee maker that I made that I bought. But we'll see how productive I am tonight and into the morning. But yeah, on that note, I'm just going to turn around. I'm going to leave this run for a while. As I said, maybe the mood will strike me to turn around and talk. If someone happens to pop in, yeah, not much chance of that. But just in case, I'll leave it up. Actually, let me do one more test here to see if this is even working, since I don't even really know. So there's a side chat thing where people can say hello. So I'll say, hello, this is me. Why not? Yeah. And yeah, it showed up over there. Yeah. Okay, so that's working. Okay, well, actually, again, like I said, I'm hoping to, let me just do one more attempt here at figuring this, making something that'll work. Yeah. Like I said, I'm hoping to review all of Sala's books eventually. And I have most of them. I think there's one or two that were out of print, and I never did manage to get my hands on them. By the time I realized they were available, they were out of print, and I never did get my hands on them. And I think I've seen them on sale, but the prices were just ridiculous. That no, I'm not that much of a completist, and I'm not that wealthy either, for that matter, that I could pay hundreds of dollars for a single book. That some of the content I've already read in other books and such. So anyhow, one of his last books was The Hidden. It's actually an interesting post-apocalyptic sequel, kind of, sort of, to the Frankenstein, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein book. I think I might be spoiling it by saying that, actually, but it's an interesting story. It goes in some unusual directions, just for Sala. And these are in no particular order. They're just kind of in the pile. I pulled them off the shelf over there with books that are my to be reviewed shelf. Cat Burglar Black, story of a girls' school where the girls are being trained to be, well, cat burglars, and they are assigned and these four students are assigned a fairly dangerous series of missions that all tie in. The tone of this particular book is along the lines of, it's like a cross between a Dario Argento film and like a 1950s, 1960s sort of spy thriller, or just thriller with a little bit of sort of a silent movie vibe tossed in every so often. But speaking of silent movie vibes, where you really get a very strong silent movie vibe in Sala's work, is in this one. This is actually my personal favorite, I think, out of everything I've read by him. The Chuckling Watson is my all-time favorite of his work. It's got mystery, it's got humor, it's just a really fun read. And there's some very clear silent film callbacks in it. And just quirky characters. The mystery at the root of it all is also strange and melodramatic and sort of fitting for a little bit of the silent movie. I mean, it's a little too gory for what you would expect from a silent movie. So it also has that 1950s, 1960s Mario Bava or Dario Argento kind of flavor. It's just a neat book. And probably the second most favorite of mine would be Mad Night, which is a book-length Judy Drude mystery. And again, it has a very strong silent movie vibe to it, but the sort of 60-ish mystery flavor is even stronger. Because of some of what it is poking a tiny bit of fun at, there's also sort of a teen mystery flavor. Judy Drude is Judy Drude originated as a 2-page spoof on Nancy Drew, and a friend of Sala's said, "Hey, I want to read more of Judy Drude." So he did the Mad Night stories, which was serialized along with the Chuckling Watson and the Peculiar stories in an anthology series that I believe was, I think it was either Fantagraphics or Slave Labor. I forget who published it, to be honest with you. And right here, I don't even remember what the title of it was because, well, I'm just kind of doing this. And once again, kind of just by the seat of my pants. And, oh my. Well, a really clear image here on my laptop, but on the YouTube page, it's all broken up and pixelated. So I really don't know what this is going to look like when it's uploaded, but I guess I will find out. Once again, I keep saying this, and you can tell it's true. I'm clueless. I'm just kind of playing with this, procrastinating with this. It's just something. Actually, it's something different. Just something fun. Something I have no expectations of. Like I said in one of these posts, I realized when I set my YouTube account that, hey, I have a channel. I haven't done anything with it for. Might as well waste some space and time. So, but Sala's books. So yeah, Chuckling Watson and Mad Night. They are, in my opinion, they're my favorites of his work. Probably his best stuff, the stories that are in there. Also, it's another Judy Drude. It's the second full-length Judy Drude story. So basically, there were three Judy Drude stories. The first one, basically the sort of origin tale. The Mad Night story, which was originally posted in the title The Glass Scorpion, I believe. And then, sorry, I'm out of allergy tablets and I forgot to buy them, and so my eyes are a bit itchy, so I'll be picking at my face more than usual. Well, anyhow, Richard Sala. And then the third one, and the third book, The Grave Robber's Daughter, has a straight up 1980s kind of horror vibe to it. And there's clowns on the cover, and this book is crawling with creepy clowns. So if you're someone that finds clowns to be frightening and scary, Judy's third adventure is definitely going to be one that you're either going to want to avoid or you're going to want to read. I recommend reading it. I think it's really good. Oh yeah, and all of these that I've talked about so far, except for The Hidden, they're black and white. All of Sala's earlier books were done in black and white. And if you ever looked at Shades of Grey or some of my other reviews that are floating around out there, or just looked at what the Nulo Games comics anthologies that I've edited, what's in them, you will see that I love black and white comics. I love black and white movies, but maybe it's because I grew up reading a lot of reprints of American comics that were in black and white, either in British versions or in Denmark and Danish versions. Same thing, I read a lot of anthologies, and I wish that anthologies were still a thing, like in the States, like they are in Japan and elsewhere, where they have a variety of comics available. But I'm wandering from the topic, which is Sala. Sala did great black and white art, and The Grave Robber's Daughter is another really good book. And in fact, I believe it was actually written as a it wasn't serialized the way the first Judy Drood story was. It was just I could look up and see here what it says in the indicia. Yeah, no, it was and Evil Eye was the anthology series that Peculiar Stories, Chuckling Watson, and the stories got collected in Mad Night, were originally published. Evil Eye was that title. It was an anthology title with just all Richard Sala, just three different stories, and then a few fillers if memory serves. Another collection of his. This is one of the early ones. Maniac Killer Strikes Again. It's again a lot of his early 90s work. This one actually I bought secondhand off of eBay, I believe, and it used to belong to a library, and somebody got it and sold it, and I bought it, and it has stories that are also featured in A Black Cat Crossing. Most note, actually, the title, Fellowship of the Creeping Cat. I mean, the story from which the title Black Cat Crossing is drawn, and then Judy Drood's origin tale. Yeah. There's even the library slip in the back, and it got checked out on April 19th, 2005, May 9th, 2005, and then November 27th, 2007. And at some point, they must have gotten sold in a library when the library sell off their books that have no longer been kept on their shelves. And actually, when I say this is one of the older books, I just refer to the material inside. It actually came out from Fantagraphics after Chuckling Wassett and Mad Night was published. Well, at least Peculiar. I think Mad Night came out after this, actually. Yeah, they did. But anyhow, wide variety of Sala's stories that Sala told can be found in here. They're all sort of twisted takes on twist in the sense that they're just a little bit off kilter takes on sort of classic Pulp Fiction, silent movies, action films, even 70s and 60s television. Some of the creeps in there that you can kind of see some of the reference materials. Actually, you can also sometimes if you're a person like me that has spent a lot of time going through old archives and looking at old pictures, some of his references will pop out at you. So that's another just kind of fun thing sometimes, seeing what his references are, what he's using. There's some Brigitte Bardot pictures that's when I finally get around to doing the review of the Chuckling Watsit, I probably will have to put the Brigitte Bardot inspired art next to the picture that the photo that Sala very clearly, and again he didn't even try to hide it, so I'm fairly certain that it was just something that maybe he expected people to recognize where it came from, because it's just so clearly that photo. But if you know the photo, if you know what I'm referring to, you can already tell me about it. Comments here, comments Facebook, comments anywhere. If someone ever finds these and gets to this far, and now my one of these fancy smartwatches. Yeah, I'm a Luddite. I finally upgraded from, I think I mentioned that in another one of these, and I finally upgraded from my trusty old flip phone to a smartphone and got a smartwatch. And now the smartwatch tells me about every 50 minutes or so, 50, get your fat ass up off the chair and start moving around. I'm going to ignore it this time because, well, I'm sitting here talking to the camera and going through Richard Sala books. Another one that he did, Violenzia. This is straight up 19 thriller / horror / mystery film, 70s film of the or perhaps even fiction, although I haven't read any of those. Sort of the Gallo, yellow, whatever the slang is, type of a story. A mystery woman is on a quest for revenge against some sort of corporation or secret society, and this basically that's what the main focus of the book is. It's mostly in color. I guess I should show what I'm flipping through here, with a black and white section in the middle, and some of Sala's single page sort of pin-up art arranged to tell a story. I think this is the one that does that. Oh no, these are just. No, this one just has sort of a collection of. Let me make sure. Yeah, there's a section of 20-some single-page illustrations that he also did an excellent job with. A lot of those are callback, are based on classic horror films, classic spy movies or spy television series. So that's another fun thing if you are steeped in the past, seeing the movies that he references and the books and the comics and such. It's always fun to spot. Oh, okay, he's doing a take on, I'm blanking, of course. Italian supervillain, master of disguise, wore a black mask when he wasn't disguising himself. satanic, nah, whatever. In a glass grotesquely, again, one of the ones toward the end. I'm not, again, I can, I can sort of see the this one is very much a reference of 1960s, 1970s spy thrillers and such. A little bit with some comic book villainy and some horror mixed in. Not one of his best works. It has its interesting moments, but definitely not as good as many of his other things. And then there's the last sort of main characters that he did, The Bloody Cardinal. This book is part black and white, part color. It opens with the backstory of the, or sort of legend of the Bloody Cardinal. Then goes into people trying to trace what's happening or what happened to him really. And there's some psychics involved. Everyone comes to a bad end. Happens a lot in Richard Sala's stories, where most people come to a bad end. They're not here in the office because it's out on the coffee table in the living room. It was published posthumously. Huge collection of that features the second Bloody Cardinal story, something about topless cave girls in the land of dinosaurs. A great collection of Sala's pinups framed with a Peculia, a frame featuring Peculia. Blanked on the title, but I will again review the color ones. Eventually, the review is going to show up on Terror Titans, all the black and white ones. They will be showing up on Shades of Grey. In fact, there's already a Sala page on Shades of Grey, the blog. I'll put a link at the bottom of this if and when someone finds this stuff and they feel like clicking around. But Sala's stuff is well worth checking out. My rambling and sort of half-assed, off-the-cuff commentary on his books really don't do them justice. So yeah, when I get the link here at the bottom, you should probably go click on that and just take a look at, because I posted samples. I mean, he did a lot of one and 2 page stories, really brief. So they're nice for reposting on blogs, and I've reposted a few of them on Shades of Grey, some of which didn't actually see print, but they're out there in private collections. People put them on the web from where I grabbed them and then reposted them. So someday I may get myself a C&D in the mail. Hopefully not, but could happen. I hope not, because I'd like to be able to continue to share Sala's work. And I think on that note, I've been talking about half an hour. I probably do need to get back to work, finishing up that review, like I mentioned. And it is interesting to know that there's, again, a little delay. Interesting. So I'm seeing there's one person watching now. That must be me. Watching myself, record myself, watching myself on the other monitor over there. So, I mean, if there really is one other person out there, by all means, just, what is that supposed to say? Put a 1 in the comments if you're not me. Uh, then I'll know that there really is indeed another person out there. It's not just me watching, although I'm pretty sure it's me. Because for I haven't done this prior. I've never kind of opened up a YouTube page to look at what's happening on the page as I record this. But I'm going to leave this up another, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes as I get to work. And maybe I'll chatter some more. Maybe I'll just sit here in silence and it'll be absolutely riveting viewing. Maybe a cow will jump up and knock everything down, and then you'll get to hear me curse a lot. We'll see. But yeah, if someone does wander in, leave a comment, because I have it up on my monitor over here, so I'll be able to see if something happens. All right. And I think one thing this will make me do is finally break down and buy an office chair. I haven't had one a real sort of swivel chair, office chair. I haven't had one in about a decade. The one I had, I sat down in it one day, and it just tipped. The seat just tipped over backwards, and I tumbled out of it to the ground, and the chair was broken. And so I've been using dining room chairs ever since, because I'm cheap, and they serve perfectly fine. But if I'm going to do this, even just for fun, and just with no purpose really, the swivel chair will let me do this. I can talk to here, blah, 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 blah. Okay, let me either just get back to being productive and show off how wide I am from the side. And I can, research things, look things up, then turn back and say blah, 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 and talk some more. So, yeah, swivel chair, time it is, I think. And yeah, the hat, I think, is now my, it'll be on my head whenever I'm doing these streams, I think. And I'm sorry, it's fascinating to me to go, oh, looking at me here, looking at me on the screen, and then looking at me looking back on the other monitor, on the camera, rather. So yeah, it's the delay I find amusing, because I'm easily amused. All right, so I'm going to be working on, and I've got coffee. Oh yeah, and I've got water, because I'm supposed to drink 8 cups of water a day, but still got to drink the coffee. Because I'm weak and I'm addicted. What can I say? Anyhow, back to finishing up the review of Black Cat Crossing, and then moving on to finishing up the game design work for Mystic Moots. I'm basically happy with the cover for Mystic Moot. I'm still trying to decide whether I'm going to put on the logo, the typical logos I put on the covers, like OGL compatible, whatever that is, 3E compatible. There's a logo we put on most of our titles that when they have certain kinds of game content. But the cover that Stan drew for me is so nice, and I really don't want to cover up any of it. Even though I think he did leave a little space that is suitable for logo placement, but I still just like his cover enough that maybe I'm just going to go with the masthead and nothing else on it. But still have to decide that. Let's see. Yeah, and main thing I need to do with the Black Cat Crossing review is just do a little bit of proofing and correcting, finishing up some credits, like the 2 last stories. I got my notes, but I haven't typed them in yet. And then place art. This is nothing new, nothing unusual these days at least. But I'm a big believer in always having plenty of illustrations in blog posts to sort of break up the wall of text. Again, these days that's pretty much par for the course. But I do remember the early days of the internet where people weren't putting a lot of pictures in posts. And it's, I don't know, reading a book, no problem. Page after page after page of text is perfectly fine. When it comes to computer screens, no. For whatever reason, that is just, it's a different thing. And I'm trying to find the name of the fellow who wrote Proxy. In Black Cat Crossing, Sala did, as he usually does, most of his work. He was the writer and the artist on everything. But in the story Proxy, a fellow named Tom DeHaven actually did the script. And it originally appeared, I guess, in Art Spiegelman's Raw anthology title. Yeah, there was a lot of anthology titles in the 90s. It's kind of a shame that that trend didn't continue. I like comics anthologies that have a wide variety of stuff in them. But I guess most people, they like superhero comics, or they like horror comics, or they want what they want. They want the genre. They don't appreciate that. Oh God, there's 8 pages of gothic romance drama comics here. There's 8 pages of motocross comics here. Speaking of motocross comics, I've been reading Kazuki Tsushima series. Even more comics rather than working. But so I'm working my way through this series. I'm like only on volume, it's either 4 or 5. But here's the latest one. I just got this one from Amazon last week. I don't know how long it's been out, but I noticed it. I went ahead and ordered it. Just again, I'll get around to reading them eventually. But it's basically a series about a kid and other teenagers that are motocross racers. And I mean, that's it. There's a little bit of school stuff. There's a little bit of sort of well, if you're Japanese, jokes about the kid that accidentally catches a side boob or something and freaks out. What view of a side boob? Whatever. But generally, it's a comic featuring people riding motorcycles or little racing bikes of some sort. It was a ongoing theme in the Oh My Goddess series, but it was side stories that they like do. They like racing. They like riding motorcycles, like driving go-karts. It is the topic of the Tapu GP series. And I mean, I think if I'm getting the trajectory of the series correctly, well, it's book, I can't remember, it's book 4. And so far, the entire book has been this one race. And this one race started in the previous volume. and I flipped to the back because I'm weak and I was curious. The race will continue in the next volume. It kind of surprises me that a series like that, I mean, I like Kazuki Fujishima's art. I liked his art earlier in his career. But what he's doing in this Topu series is pretty good as well. And if you like clean drawings of machines, and if you're a fan of motorcycle racing, I think you'll enjoy this book. I mean, I've been enjoying them, and as I'm enjoying them, I'm also just marveling at, wow, there is literally, hundreds of pages worth of drawings of people just driving motorcycles on tracks. And that's what the series is about. And the series, as I said, it's on the collective volume number 9 right now. It's been running in an anthology title for many years. I couldn't tell you how many years. I'm trying to see what the original anthology, if they tell me in the indicia, because I haven't bothered looking this up, because again, this is just off the cuff, me screwing around. But interesting little coincidence I noticed here. I'm finishing up the review of Black Cat Crossing, right? Pick up volume. I grabbed volume 9 just at random because there's like 4 of them sitting over on top of a box back there. And on the cover of this volume 9, I don't know if I can get it clearly enough where you can see it, but Topu, his racing suit there, the sponsor for his race is Gato Negro, Black Cat. So that's kind of a weird, for me, and I'm easily amused. All right, so I am actually going to try to be, yeah, that looks like crap over there on the actual broadcast. So we'll have to see if that's actually, because I got a warning the other night when I was doing this. It came across the screen that, oh, you have an unstable connection. But I haven't seen any of those tonight. But maybe it's when I move around. Well, I'll have to watch the tape. Anyhow, I'm gonna get back to being semi-productive here. But yeah, I was talking about placing art, and I'm just debating whether I'm going to put a panel per story covered. That might be too much, because it's there to sort of break up the wall text, and if you put in too much of it, yeah, that's almost as bad as too little, I think. Oh, look at that. Yeah, see this? This is, his name is Simba. I guess, hey, Simba, you're turning the wrong way. You should be facing the camera. You know that, right? You should be facing the camera, kid. So he's making sure here that rather than finishing the article and placing the art and getting the blog post done, that I should be talking to him. But he should turn around and talk to you, I think. Yes, turn around, Simba. Yeah, you see? There's nobody watching, but maybe someday they will. Or I will do a screenshot of this, because people have asked that they get to see pictures of you. Friends have asked that they get to see pictures of you. And I have been amiss in taking pictures, even though I have the fancy digital cameras now. I still just have not been taking pictures. So, hey, do you want to turn around? Do you want to turn around and say hi to people? Because usually you can sit that way. It's because there's a pile of books here. Is that why you're not sitting in the right way? Ugh. Those. Maybe that'll get you to turn the right way. No. Anyhow, as I think I may have said in a previous one of these, if I hadn't gotten him at the age of 8, he probably would have been named Casper than Simba. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, interesting. They, I guess their owners died or couldn't take care of them, what have you, and they, oh, there he goes. Yes. Now, if we move the chair a bit, get you on camera, wouldn't that be a good thing? If you'll stay put, don't jump down, just stay put. Oh, damn it. I'm sorry, cat. I'm sorry. Oh, well. Try to make him a YouTube star. I just ruined your fame there, Simba. Anyhow, as I was saying, they ended up in a shelter. They got adopted by one person, and then he brought them back a month or so later because they were going overseas, I think the story was, and they didn't want to put them through quarantine. A friend of mine volunteers. We were at Thanksgiving dinner. I think it was Thanksgiving dinner, maybe Christmas dinner. And he mentioned them to me. I've been looking to get cats again. So I went, checked them out. And even though I prefer to get cats when they're 6 months to a year old, or just, maybe even a little bit younger, so they can be around and can shape their personalities and you can get used to each other. These guys have been settling in just fine. I did miss that the cats I had before these guys, they purred a lot. That's always a fun thing. And they don't really purr. Simba has just, within the last couple of weeks, has finally actually started purring a bit more when I pet him or when he wants to come and he started getting in bed and such. So, yeah, well, if I turn back and start working, maybe he'll jump back up. Although I think I may have just, like I said, ruined his chance at YouTube celebrity. But there'll be more of these because I'm probably going to come on and waste time once a day until I get bored with it. But if that happen, who knows? Like I said, I'm easily amused. So, art on the blog post. Yeah, we'll do this. Let's see. Where the heck? Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's got to be me that is counting as having watched it. Well, since I'm watching it and it's counting me watching it, I should probably check like. I like this. Yes, this is brilliant viewing. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, somebody died. Louise Fletcher, Oscar-winning nurse, Oscar winner as Nurse Ratched in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, dies at 88. Oh. I remember what else I may have seen her in. Maybe Shakespeare Post in a week or so. Do a little bit of research looking into her. See if there's interesting photos available to put up there. I do little death announcements on Shades of Grey. If you haven't been there and looked, you can go look. There's pictures and then kind of a mini bio of the person that passed. If there's interesting or racy, I guess, photos available of the person, I will, put them. Although, I did do a death announcement where the guy, all I had was like a headshot of him in a suit. One announcement, one of them where just a funny picture of the actress in question. So it's not always girly pics, but more often than not, it is. I will admit it. Give the people what they want. Because straight posts get fewer hits than more visually entertaining ones, if you will. Anyhow, I was going to check something really fast. And then I got the little news headlines on my homepage and got distracted. Squirrel. Slow Dance with the Dead are selling another t-shirt. Good band, or not good band, good one-man operation. If you like sort of dark wave electronica, he does some interesting things. Once again, another Shade of Grey plug here, and this is an illustration that, or just an example of how long things are scheduled in advance. In October, it's got only a week away. Holy crap! Oh my God, yeah, it's almost October. Jeez. There'll be a couple of posts of Slow Dance with the Dead music videos and some of his interesting songs, and a little bit of a bio of him. Not much of one, because instead of doing research or doing things like this, and people are, I think, watch those or click on those posts for the music videos and not so much to read about the performers. Plus, I link. A lot of times I will link to the performers' web pages or their Bandcamp or whatever else they might have out there, so you can get a lot more info there than anything I would be able to provide. And there's Zoe, who she hates it when I'm just sitting here talking. She doesn't understand, and she's going to pay attention to me, you dummy. Well, regardless, you want to come back up here and have another shot at fame? Huh, Simba? Do ya? Okay. Come on back to the chair where you'd like to sit. I promise we won't move it this time. Okay. Okay. All right, so it's the second monitor that's more visible. I guess I should have been able to see that since it's the vertical one. All right. Horizontal one, not vertical. Let's see here. Oh yes, dead air with somebody looking away from the camera. Truly exciting, high quality YouTube content. But I did say earlier that that's what this was going to turn into. Now I'm just checking my already written comments, making sure I'm not referring to a story by the wrong title. Which, yeah, I almost did. I put in a hyphen where there wasn't one. And let's see, what is this? And XXX. Oh, let's see. Ah, I see what I was doing. Night delivery. Yeah, I'm just touching very briefly on the color section, since the middle of Black Cat Crossing, there's so it's mostly black and white. Then in the middle, there's a color pinup, or one of Sala's one page. Lot of action happening, kind of cartoon. And then there's just 1 and 2 page little short stories, 2 of which are really good, most of which aren't. And I'm just talking a little bit about the 2 good ones because, well, it's shades of gray. We talk about black and white stuff there, not color. So just briefly touch on the color stuff. And Night Delivery is the story question. Yeah, I'll also make a note in here that story in Black Cat Crossing called The Proxy, about a guy who was contacted by an old coworker who seemed to be a bit of a huge scumbag, and they have some sort of he has some sort of codependent relationship with this guy, the protagonist of the story. And I've read the thing 3 times, and actually I've read it a 4th time. I should correct this to say I've read it 4 times, and I'm still not sure what the point of the story is. So if anyone has read Black Cat Crossing or Proxy, which also was in Art Spiegelman's one of the issues of Raw back in the day, and you know what the point of it all is, please tell me. I'll add it to the blog post, and I'll give you credit for being smarter than I am, because it's an interesting read. It's well drawn. It's well paced, but you get to the end, I got to the end, and I went, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to take away from this. So yeah, if you've read it, show me you're smarter than I am, and let me know what the story is what the point of it was. Like I said, it's interesting. It's I just don't get it. I like the art. I like the pacing. I like the way the characters. I like the way the characters kind of, you got a feel for them. Relatively, well, not relatively. You got to feel for them quickly because it's a very short story. I just didn't get what. I don't get it. I can keep saying that over and over, but so yeah, if you've read The Proxy by Tom DeHaven and Richard Sala, let me know. scratching my head at the end of it. Okay, you know what, guys, or no, guys, whoever finds this recording download, uh, actually, no, there must be someone else out there because I clicked like, and I just noticed that somebody else has clicked likes. There's 2 likes on this video. One was me, and someone else has clicked it. So, yeah, someone must have been watching while I was looking away or typing. I didn't fail to realize that somebody was out there. So, yeah, sorry, whoever may have stopped in. I didn't acknowledge that you were there. Or you're there and you're the one person because I look on the recording screen and it says 0 people are watching. I look back over here onto YouTube where I have it open on my YouTube account, and it says 1 watching now. Don't know if that's me or someone is out there. If someone's out there, hi. Happy to be seen. But I think I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. So we're running for an hour now, and I've been talking most of it, and I really do need to get this post finished, and then I need to get my sections of Mystic Mood done, and to edit it too, and get it all nice and neat and ready to go. So I don't keep getting distracted by wanting to talk to everybody in the future that might find this. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the live stream, and then I'll upload it, and I'll put in links to the Shades of Grey Sala page and what have you. Maybe we'll see if I want to go through the hassle of sticking up links to Tapu GP. What else have I rattled on about? Well, I touched briefly on Junji Ito, but I think just in passing. So yeah, I think I'll just drop a link to the Sala page at Shades of Grey, and then hopefully you can go look at that, click around. If you don't know who Richard Sala is, if you like mysteries, horror films, silent movies, just fun comics, I think you will enjoy Richard Sala's work. And I really should have spent more time trying to Not that I've been any kind of heavyweight, but I could have used my little platform to promote him more than I did. And I really do need to, put aside all the other stuff that I do and just try to get his books reviewed and my take on them posted up there. But Black Cat Crossing, unless something else comes along and distracts me and I go, ooh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Should be up tomorrow on Shades of Grey. Tomorrow being September 24th, 2022, since who knows, you might be seeing this at some point in the future. So on that note, I'm going to turn this off so I will stop being distracted, and I hope everyone is having a good night. I hope you're having a good day, good night, good time at the future point at which you are finding this and watching this, and marveling at the absolutely craptacular lighting and total lack of any sort of production value and professionalism. Have a good one. And there we go. We end the stream.